Hello everyone, welcome to my floss tube channel, XO Needle in the Hay. XO, this is a channel all about my cross stitch endeavors. My name is Annie. You can also find me on Instagram at XO Needle in the Hay. XO. This is a 2025 WIP parade. WIP as in work in progress. As we go into the new year, I wanted to share with you all of the works in progress that I am bringing with me. As I was ironing all of my 21 works in progress, I thought back to when we last saw each other, and that was all the way back in November, at the end of November. Since then, I have started and finished 2 things. So in addition to my works in progress, if you will indulge me and let me show you my 2 starts and finishes, that way the next time we see each other for a regular floss tube episode, I will be more organized, in my brain. So for the next floss tube episode, which will be a regular one, I'll be able to show you starts and finishes if I have any, starts, works in progress, vintage haul, and plans like I normally do. So for today, let's start off with 2 starts and finishes. Since November, I have started and finished a Prairie Schooler Santa, actually my first Prairie Schooler Santa. I worked on this during the Jingle Ball. And if you attended the Jingle Ball, you'll know that Santa was a special guest on the last night, and I was able to show him this work of art. I don't remember what year Prairie Schooler this is, but I will pop that up on the screen when I remember. This is stitched on 36 count Zweigart mini dots, and I used a Dinky Dyes conversion actually because I purchased some Dinky Dyes oops packs, and I just color matched the called for DMC as best as possible and used my Dinky Dyes stash, which was a pleasure to stitch with. So Prairie Schooler Santa is my first start and finish since I last saw you. And my second start and finish is actually a Valentine theme cross stitch, Valentine Terrarium by Tiny Modernist. I have had this kitted up for at least a year, and as I was thinking about Valentine's Day, I remembered it and pulled the kit out of stash and stitched it up. I used 36 count Pearl Gray by Zweigart and all of the called for DMC. I did make some changes. Let me get this fuzz off. My changes are I changed the swan to a black swan, and I stitched my initial and my husband's initial in the cloud. This was so fun to stitch on. I finished it, I think, in like 3 stitching sessions, and what I realized from stitching this small is that I need more little small stitches in my stash. It was so fun to do, so satisfying. I need to sprinkle more of those in. I really have a lot, as you'll see, I have a lot of big projects. I learned a new acronym, BAP, Big Ass Project, and I think I have a type, and that's a BAP, but I want to try and find more small stitches like this to do. Let me see how big this is. This is 64 by 95 stitches. And I know Tiny Modernist has a terrarium series that I will be looking into. How cute, right? I'm so pleased with how this turned out. Let me show you one last time. Valentine Terrarium by Tiny Modernist. Again, that is on 36 count Pearl Gray by Zweigart with all of the called for DMC. Additionally, I want to say that I absolutely love this chart. Normally I make a working copy and enlarge it, but for this, I stitched right from the chart. It's like full size and in color with symbols. So easy to read on nice cardstock. Okay, those are my 2 starts and finishes. Now we shall move on to the WIP parade. So this is absolutely in no particular order. I just pulled out all my project bags, pulled out my projects and ironed them. No order whatsoever. And you know, I'm really just flying by the seat of my pants here. I'm going to rely on my memory for all of the details, and I probably am not going to spend time typing the information into the box below, as many floss tubers are so kind to do. I just find that it takes me forever. I don't even know how many people are reading it. So I really don't want to invest the time to do that anymore. If you have any questions, I'm so happy to answer them. And, you know, during the month of November and December, I really didn't have a lot of bandwidth for filming and going on YouTube, so I have yet to answer my comments that I received there, but have no fear, I will be doing that in the next few days. I do read all of the comments, and I apologize, but I really was having a hard time of it. So I haven't been checking in on my YouTube very much, but I'll be doing that today. So again, I won't be typing in any details, but if you have questions, please feel free to leave a comment, DM me on Instagram, or email me at xoneedleinthehayxo@gmail.com. Okay, let's get to it. My first WIP that I have to show you is Garden Stomping by Owl Forest Embroidery. This is a free pattern on their website. I am using the Owl Forest Embroidery Floss Pack. Now, this is not the DMC Floss Pack. It is, I believe, I want to say the Gamma. I wanted to try out their other line of cotton flosses, and I really very much like them. This is stitched on 36 count Heritage by Picture This Plus. I love this dye job. And I'm so excited. I'm going to have a ton more fabric to stitch on once I'm done with this. Again, Garden Stomping by Owl Forest Embroidery. I started this sometime in the last half of the year. It's my first Owl Forest embroidery. Let me see. I actually have the stats for this because it's a PDF. I am 22% done. Garden Stomping by Owl Forest Embroidery, done on Heritage by Picture This Plus, 2 over 2 36 count. Next up is one that I have not stitched on since May of 2024. I started it for Manning May. This is Jane's Joy by Manning May. Stitched on 20 count Ada Hydrangea by Fiber on a Whim, using all the called for DMC. This is so super fun. Let me make sure I'm orienting it the right way. Yes, I am. I am having such a good time stitching this. It's just a lot of color changes, but I'm excited to get back to this. I don't know if I'll pick it up before May, because I have a lot going on. I like focusing on it during Manning May. There we go. Again, that's Jane's Joy by Carolyn Manning, my very first Carolyn Manning. Okay, next up is a BAP. And I have made a lot of progress on this actually since we last saw each other. I'm gonna see if it fits in the frame. This is Consider the Lilies. Can you see it? Oh, How beautiful. Since I last saw you, I finished the top flower border and I wanted to make my way down to the lettering. So I worked down to the end of the sampler phrase. You can see on the, is that your right hand side there? Yeah. And that is approximately the middle of the height of the sampler. See, this is done on 46 count cream by Zweigart. Let me fold it so you can get in a little bit closer. I just love the size of these tiny 46 count stitches. And it's all called for DMC. Show you over here. Wouldn't it be amazing if I could finish this in 2025? That is Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. Oh my goodness. As soon as I finish this, I'll be starting Heartstring Samplery's Scary Sampler. Obsessed, absolutely obsessed. I could probably work on this monogamously, actually. It's such a joy. Oh my gosh. My next one, not so much a joy. This is one of my oldest WIPs. If you're returning, you've heard me complaining about it before. It is All Are Equal in Death by Modern Folk Embroidery. Here's where I am. This is stitched on Vintage Stormy Night, 36 count, or is it 40 count? 40 count, I think, because I'm using one strand of Gothic Raspberry by Pirate and Robin Floss. Loving the floss. Really not enjoying these stitches. We're gonna finish it though. It's happening. You know, I was watching Thread Gremlin's WIP Parade, and Carolyn, so wise, she's just not even gonna start this. Maybe she started it, she's not gonna finish it. It's a UFO because she realized long before me that it's just too many leaves. It's a lot of leaves. It's a lot of counting, really like finicky counting. And you know, I know that I have mistakes in it, and I'm just fudging it at this point. Which, you know, if you're a returning viewer, I never do. And can I just have an aside? I had a thought about why I have such an issue with fudging, and I think it's the word. So I want to say, instead of saying fudging, can we use a new word? Can we say finessing? I feel like fudging to me has a really negative connotation. It's one of deceit. And I don't want to be a deceitful person. Does that make any sense? I'd rather call it finessing. You know, if we're gonna use an F word, you know, because we either frog or we fudge, let me just say, can we frog or finesse? Let's think about that. Let me know in the comments how you feel about finessing instead of fudging. So I'm going to say, in order to move forward with this, I am going to finesse the rest, because the old me would have frogged it and started over, or frogged it and UFO'd it. But I'm so stubborn. I'm going to finesse and I'm going to finish this. But I want to say I envy Carolyn and her foresight for just letting it go. Yeah, so there's that. Oh, one that brings me a lot of joy. Well Hidden. I thought I would finish this in November, but I went on like a starting frenzy in November, so I didn't finish it, but we're on our way. This is Well Hidden by Kathy Barrick. It is stitched on 40 count sand by Fiber on a Whim using all of the called for NPI. I kind of want to show off my back on this. Can I show you the back? Back looks pretty good, right? Which is the back, which is the front? An absolute pleasure to stitch on. I love these colors. I love using the NPI. And you know me and my love affair with all Kathy Barrick designs. Love this so much, and I'm so surprised that I'm not seeing more of this stitched up. Has anyone seen a finished, well hidden? Let me know. So beautiful. Again, in no order whatsoever. This is my latest start and WIP. This is for the Pride 2025 sew along, stitch along, and learn along. I love this idea. Loving this stitch. Can you see? Each month, at the beginning of the month, we receive a pattern and a learning module. And I love this idea so much, and I hope that there are more sales that do this. I am not using any of the called for. I'm doing a stash buster with this. This is Dinky Dyes from the Oops pack, Twilight, and the fabric is 20 count Dusk by Fiber on a Whim, which I have to say, I'm obsessed with this gray color. I think I'm gonna be using Dusk on a lot more things. Doesn't it look so good with this Twilight Dinky Dyes and this like statuesque stitch? Gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm 50% of the way through this month's stitch, so I think I'll probably be done by tonight or tomorrow. Oh, it looks so good on camera. I'm so glad that's showing up. Let's see. Okay, next up is another new start. It is a new to me designer, Lily Violette. This is Contessa, I believe is the name of the pattern. I will put it up on the screen. Here is what I have so far. Again, on 36 count mini dots, which I just love using. Any excuse to use the mini dots, I will take it. I will say, I am having a heck of a time reading this pattern. It is all color blocks with no symbols, and as you can see, there's a lot of different greens and a lot of browns, and it's slowing me down a lot. It's frustrating me, but I am determined to finish this because it's gonna be so cute. But I don't know how inclined I am to do another one of her patterns. Anyway, okay, that was a start. Next up is another new start since I last saw you. Like I said, I've been just starting like crazy. This is Christmas Party. How cute is that? Done on, I believe this is a 20 count Ada. This is a gift from Liz. I'll have to look up and put in the captions what color this is. But I wanted to like have a sort of wintry, snowy background for the Christmas scene there. So cute. I don't know if I'll work on this again until the winter time or until, you know, next Christmas season. We'll see. Absolutely adorable. That is a fun one. My gosh, I have a lot of new starts since I last saw you, but let me skip to, I'm gonna move some of these aside. I think you've seen this before. This is Christmas Fairy Tale by Magic Needle. It is a kit. I am using everything inside of the kit. Just stunning. Again, I'm not sure that I'll pick this up again until Christmas season. You never know though. I often stitch you know, out of season, whatever I want. So if I'm feeling it, I'll pull it out. This is about a quarter of the way done. I'm almost done with the first of 4 pages. Next up, I think that you've seen this before. I am stitching this for my birthday sal. If you want to participate or are participating, it is hashtag needle in the hay B-Day sal, and it's any Jed X stitch pattern. You know, I chose the scorpion and the tree because I'm a Scorpio and I love all things with scorpions in them. So I started this, but then I want to start all of the Jed X stitch patterns. So for my B-Day sal, I said just any Jed X stitch pattern. It doesn't have to be this one. Amy of Thread Gremlins finished Poisonwood Apple Tree. I think that's the name of the pattern for the B-Day sal, and it looks so good. Hopefully I'll finish this by my birthday this year, October 27th. I'm about a quarter of the way done, I think. This is done on Mother's Milk by Lap and Loops. It's 40 count, 1/1, using a silk paint box threads conversion. And I couldn't do just one Jed X stitch for my birthday, so I had to do another one, and that is Cherry Magpie. This is how far I am on Cherry Magpie. You might be hearing my dog trying to get cozy in his bed right now. This is Cherry Magpie by Jed X Stitch, done on 36 count beetroot. And this I'm using some called for DMC and some paint box threads cotton conversion. I'm just trying to color match both of my Jed X Stitch called for flosses as best as possible with my paint box threads stash. Gorgeous colors. Next up, I believe that you've seen this before. This is a Halloween stitch. Halloween Snail by the Stitch Crypt, done in all the called for DMC, but with glow in the dark for all of the white. This I think is a mystery fabric. It is. Mystery fabric from my stash. This is like a half yard of fabric that I received as a gift. So, I mean, the stitch is going to be really small. I just not ready to cut it yet. Again, hopefully that'll be done by Halloween. Not sure. Next up, my first long dog. I started this for the June sal hosted by the Crow Stitcher. June dog, hashtag June dog, I think is the hashtag. I will put it up below. Since I last saw you, I made it to the corner, the top corner. Have you seen the new long dog 7th wave? I am a huge Point Break fan. So I need to finish this ASAP so that I can start the 7th wave. I cannot believe, I mean, I should believe it. Long dogs is so cool that there is a long dog Point Break sampler. Must do. So let's try and finish this year. I have about that much more to go. I think I'm 3 of 12 pages done, maybe? Somewhere around there. So pretty, right? This is 20 count, easy count Ada, and it's 2/1, 310 DMC. Love working on this. I'm sort of in like the repeating band sampler motif area, so it's taking me a little bit longer because it's actually really a lot of dense stitching. Next up is another Kathy Barrick or Carriage House Samplings. It's Mary Margaret. I am going to move into stitching Mary Margaret herself the next time that I pick this up. I found a red to match my beret. I'm going to switch out. I'm going to do a color change for the beret to match my beret, and an outfit and skin tone change too, I believe, so that it better represents me. But since I last saw you, I've really done a lot on this. I got the owl in, the flower, some more letters. This is a pleasure to stitch on. This is done on 40 count mystery fabric, 36 or 40 count, I'm not sure. And it's done with MPI silk 1/2, the call for MPI. Next up is a new start. Oh my gosh, I have been dying to start this. It's a Soda Stitch Cat's Cafe. I started smack dab in the middle because my margins are going to be pretty tight on this. I dyed this piece of 20 count Aida myself using fuchsia liquid Rit dye. It came out way darker than I wanted, even though I just used a teeny tiny bit of dye. But we're still going to use it. I also sprayed some glitter on it to try and mimic an opalescent Aida. Cat's Cafe. So this is so much fun to stitch, but it's, you know, it's a heavy fill-in, almost full coverage. I'm using all of the called for DMC, of which, you know, I think there was something like, I don't know, 35 colors, and I have a pretty healthy DMC stash. However, I didn't have like any of these colors. I had to go out and purchase the majority of the Cat's Cafe colors, which I found quite interesting. So it's colors I never normally use. I'm loving that so much. That's the cat in the middle holding his coffee mug. That's gonna be super fun. Next up, this you've seen before. This is Graveyard Guardian by Sprouting Lupine. This is done on 40 count Haunted by Seraphim using all the called for DMC. I can't wait to stitch on this again. This fabric, this particular stitch, I'm having a little bit of a hard time seeing, so I can only stitch it during the day, really. This is not even like a stitch I can stitch at night using my Bright Tech lamp. So fun. I have a lot of leaves to do before I can move on to the graveyard part. Look at that gargoyle. Okay, next up is a Christmas stitch. You've seen this before. This is from a vintage kit. It's my Care Bear stocking. There's a hanging thread. I really thought I was gonna have this done by Christmas, but no. I got really distracted with my new starts. Maybe this Christmas it'll be done. This is super fun and easy block stitching. It's done on 32 count Joblin, which was not what came in the kit. The kit was a 14 count white Aida, but I wanted to use I wanted to try the Joblin for this because I had it in my stash. I bought it on accident. I didn't know what it was, and I didn't quite have any patterns that it would work with until I opened up this vintage kit, and I thought it would be perfect. So cute. Next up, I want to show these two together. Okay, this is a new start since I've last seen you. I am hosting a sale KB Swan Quaker Sal. I'll put the pattern up here. This will be a year-long sal where every 2 weeks I will give you a teeny tiny bite-size assignment. I think Cam the Stitcher used the term bite-size, and I love that. It is super casual. You don't have to do the assignments as I assign them. If you do stick to the assignments, we will finish stitching either the stocking, we will finish the stocking and or the sampler by December 1st, 2025. So you will have a finish before Christmas. I am doing both the sampler and the stocking and pushing assignments out every 2 weeks on my Instagram as well as on my Ko-fi. If you go on my Ko-fi, there are like some additional extras, that's redundant. If you go on my Ko-fi, there are some extras. The first assignment, I had some movie recommendations. The second assignment, I posted a little journal prompt to go with the stitch if you want to participate. So if you are stitching the stocking, this is what we've done so far. I started in the toe and we are moving up. Mine is stitched on 40 count boardwalk by Color and Cotton, which is not the called for, but I had it in stash and it was long enough, because this stocking is going to be pretty long and skinny. So it's a piece of fabric, I had those long enough that worked. And I'm using for the stocking the called for MPI, and this is stitch 1/2. That is where we are currently on the stocking. The next assignment will be posted on January 14th, I believe. 16th. Next week, sometime next week. I can't recall the date right now. And if you are doing the sampler according to the assignment, this is where we are right now. And for the sampler, I am stitching this on 36 count Vintage Country Mocha using the called for DMC. I'm using 2 strands over 2 threads. And for 36 count, I normally use 2 strands of DMC over 2 threads, which is why I did it with this. I kind of wish I had used 1 strand though, but I'm too far in now to restart, I think. But it is a little bit puffier than I would like. I'm gonna go with it though. We'll see what happens. So this is the sampler. Again, the sal is hashtag KB Swan Quaker Sal if you want to join or follow along. It's definitely not too late to join. I only have 2 more WIPs to show you. I will show you possibly my favorite thing I have ever stitched. This is where I am on the Reflet de Soie sampler Germain Blanche 1899. Since I last saw you, I completed 2 more letters, which is part of a page completion. So the page completion included 2 letters, the D and the Q. I did a little bit more of the top border. I finished the anchor and did more of my buck. This is done on 46 count Heirloom by Needle Bling using all of the called for DMC. With Consider the Lilies, this is my pride and joy. I think I love the feeling, the pride I have for myself when working on a 46 count sampler. There is no stitchy feeling like that feeling. So I think in the coming year, I'll probably be stitching on more 46 count. I need to build up my 46 count linen stash. And my last WIP that I have to show you is my oldest WIP. I don't know. I used to be a monogamous stitcher, so I thought that I would finish this. I would have finished this in a year, but it's now been a year and a month. And this is how far I am on it. This is the Palace by Letty Stitch. My very first full coverage kit that I started. After this, I started a smaller dimensions kit, which I have since finished. And this is still ongoing. Look at that sky. I cannot believe that that is stitched, that I stitched that someone charted that. The sky is unbelievably cool. Just, how do they do this lighting? Just absolutely stunning golden hour tones. That's all I have to say about that. And that's JP snoring over there. That is my last WIP. Wow, thank you so much for watching. I knew I really flew through it because I don't want to keep you for too long. So if you want any details, again, please leave a comment. I promise I'll get back to you. I'm gonna start right now getting back to all of my comments that I missed previously. I really look forward to spending the next year stitching with you. I think that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Just please take care of yourself. Find your happy place in stitching, and that is all. I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye.